call to order. Um, you have taken a look at the meeting, sorry, at the minutes. Motion to accept the minutes for May 8th, 2025.
Yeah, I'm gonna call.
I approve.
Okay. Motion approved by Sitiodia.
I'm calling.
Carol Walker.
All right. Thank you so much. Any questions pertaining to the minutes?
Oh no, you're not live yet. That's in the back.
So what I would really like us to do though is to just go over what we have in the minutes right now, based on where we are looking to go.
Just a question. March, we didn't go over those at all.
No. So if we can just go back to March minutes as well, we can just take a few minutes just to read the minutes. Any clarification, any question concerning the March minutes? We did not have one minutes for April.
There was no meeting.
Yeah, no, there was no meeting for April, yeah.
No meeting April and February.
Motion to accept the March minutes?
Second.
Okay, so the March minutes accepted as is. Any questions? No? Okay, thank you. All right, so one of the things we discussed and I'm a little concerned about is that we have had several organizations who would come to the meetings and do a presentation, and some of the presentations that made, they're really pertaining to our seniors, and they are very good programs that they are bringing to the table. But my concern really is that at the time they come, the presentation is made and they're gone. And then you ask them to come back again, and no one ever show back up. So my concern is that, are they really coming to do a presentation for the community, or just to put the business out there for business? And that's one of my questions, because the last time I think it was Space, when they came and they discussed at length the New York State funding. I'm not sure if you were there, but they had that New York State funding program that they had, and it was an excellent program they had for seniors. And that program they had, that they used to bring services to the seniors' homes, so they didn't necessarily have to leave their homes. If for any reason they wanted to leave their homes to go to one of the locations, they could have done that, but they had an option to stay home, and then they would bring services for them. So at the beginning of the presentation, if you can remember, I know that you were there, presentation, I was in awe because of all the services that
You
they
talking about
said.
the PACE program?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the services that they were offering for the patient, for the seniors. But then there was a catch to it,
Right,
right? Because then it came to the assets,
right.
the monies that they had. So if they had a certain amount of money, or they were making a certain amount of money,
They were
then they were not qualified for the program. And even if they had certain assets that would prevent them from taking part or being part of that program, then they would have helped them to move that asset around, And so I think when they came, more or less, they were just starting one in, was it in Park Slope? They were just coming to Brooklyn.
They said Where did they come? It wasn't Park Slope, it was Prospect Park.
Prospect Park, yeah, I think, yeah, and Prospect Park location, yeah. Yeah, the second participant for the new Prospect Park location. Yeah. So I am all in for persons coming in with services for our area, for our seniors. But and as anything else, if you have someone coming in, they have a service. Of course, they want people to join in. Of course, they're looking for something for the business. But at the same time, I also want them to have the interest, not just what they can get from the community, but have an interest in bringing something back to the community. Because the information brought would have been, yeah, I think it would be a very good for them to come back and then we could say, okay, we're gonna have an evening where a day where we're gonna have all the seniors come together. You know, because I think that there are a lot of seniors can do with that service that they have. Those who don't want to leave home, sometimes it's so difficult for them to leave home. Some of them you hear them complaining, accessorized services, it sucks, sorry. But accessorized service sucks. The people have to wait. They go to the doctor's office and while they're sitting at the doctor's office for 3 hours waiting for accessorized to pick them up. Accessorized pick them up and they have to sit in the van for another 2 hours because they're jumping this person, they just, you know, and they're tired at the end of the day. And if they can be home and when they're home, they can have a doctor coming to them, checking them. They could have somebody coming to their house, they can do the vitals and everything. You know, they get nutritious food, they don't have to eat the Meals on Wheels food that is so salty and sometimes it's tasteless, you know. So some of the services that they really brought to the table, they were very good services, which myself, I said, well, when I get to that stage, I would really, you know, I would really love it for myself. But then when they leave, that's it.
So how do we get them back so they can make the presentation?
So that is what, yeah, so we have to have them come back to the table, you know, when they come back to the table, not just having the concept of getting prospective clients, but to have a service that the clients could really be beneficial for them. And it's a 50-50, they get something, you get something for them, they become your client, and then they get the benefits of the service that you're bringing to the table. So I don't know what, any discussion, any say on that.
Oh, I agree 110%. I'm just wondering, how do you,
So we have to connect
call
with
them
them.
back?
Yeah, yeah, we'll have to call them back and have them, you know, discuss with them a day that we can, you know, have a town hall, you know.
How would that occur? Like, is there a certain senior center that we're associated with? Or
Yes, so there's
how
a
do they
senior
get here?
center. Khalil,
Yes.
do you know the address for the senior center where Carmen works? LD something. The local development something. So there is so that is where, and there are a few senior centers in the neighborhood.
Right.
So we have Christopher Bledman.
Christopher what?
Yeah, we have Christopher Bledman. We have Shalom. We also have Fenimore. We have St. Gabriel's. And there's also one not too far up on St. John, a big one. I just, they were the ones who had the resource fair.
St. John's in Kingston?
Something, yeah. Yeah.
It's
So,
across from Walgreens.
from where?
I think it's across from Walgreens. So
Okay. So, yeah, so we have all those, you know, so we can work with them, you know, and have them go there, you
So
know,
they'd have to go
and
to
do,
each
yeah, and do, present the services that they have, because just come in and then just, it really defeats the purpose, because
Yeah,
you're
sure.
just giving us the service, this is what you're doing, but what, we can't do anything for you.
can't disseminate.
You know,
it.
so the seniors, they need to hear, you know, and then they will say, hey, I'm interested, you know, in being part of it, because as I said, a lot of those seniors, they would benefit.
And they would need to bring a caseworker or somebody that could answer their money questions.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sure they would have a lot of
Yeah,
questions.
yeah,
And they
fine,
didn't
yeah,
seem
fine.
that they were
Yeah, they
able
would
to
not have
handle
a
it.
fit to that, because I think they were just coming to the community and then they send them out there, and what they were sent out to do was just to say, hey, we are here,
Right,
you know, and then this is what we are doing. So if you know seniors who wants to come to us,
they have to call themselves.
that, you know, and you just left the information, so give out the information, and that's not good enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, you know, what you just said is absolutely valid. You know, giving presentation means, you know, senior citizen, you know, centers, that will make it, you know, real. And also it has to be a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
They just cannot come and do the presentation as like, you know, like the presentation is an end in itself.
There is no follow-up.
It has to be translated into
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
So maybe we can set maybe a template or a requirement, you can present the information here so we can screen them, I guess, you know, like is it relevant for the community that we're
Mhm.
concerned about? And then the next step that they will be expected to do is to go out into the community and somebody from, I guess, our committee can accompany them and,
Yeah, of course.
right?
Yeah, because it's not just somebody, if the committee is available and then they want to go, and then also to have them, give them like a 10-minute spiel and just the meaty part of the presentation, they can come to the community board, you know, and do a presentation also to the community, because there are other persons from different organizations who do come to the community board, and they may want to have them, you know, maybe interested in the program that they have also, you know, because as long as the community can benefit from what they have, they benefit from the committee, the community coming to the organization, and then the community will benefit. The residents will benefit from what they're bringing to the table.
Definitely.
Yeah, and there has been, and so that's one of the things that was discussed, and I don't like the idea they just come and when they come, they leave.
But maybe, like you said, we should make it an expectation, so they know if they're gonna come here to make a presentation, be prepared
Mhm.
to go out into the community with
Exactly.
somebody from the committee accompanying them, so that everybody can hear.
Yeah. So there are so many different, as the different areas, senior centers that we have, so then what we can do is just reach out to the directors for those shelters, and then schedule a date, and it has to be a daytime because the seniors, they are not out during the night. So it is a day that they are there, and then we could say, okay, this is the day they go there, and then they do a presentation to them. Okay. So that is that on this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As we move on to the next item on this discussion that we had was, so the senior wellness fair, that is June 11th. So the back page.
Yeah, June 11th. Yes, June 11th.
So which one that you're looking at? So is this
The
one?
March.
March.
No, look at April. Not April, May.
May.
The May one.
Okay.
Yeah, to the back. Right, so June 11 is right from the corner. Khalid, do you have any idea if Dante put in an order for the bouncy house?
I'm not sure, but he about the community fair.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but he was working around the clock with that stuff. So
okay, because I did ask Mia to find out from him.
okay, bouncy house. Okay, I'll put that as a note.
So
Yeah.
is the community fair the same as the senior wellness day, or two separate events?
So the
right?
senior wellness day is the same.
It's the same, but they have different dates. Community fair I have for June 7th, and the wellness day was June 11th.
Oh, okay, so we had, so it's June 11th, we had a rain date. So senior wellness day, right? Where you have the June 11th? Is it for,
It's
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
March, and it's also in
Yeah,
May.
March and May.
it's in March, let me see.
Yeah. So I have to correct that.
So the community fair, that's
for
that's
the
different,
Saturday?
that's
So
different,
it's different,
yeah. So we are looking at number 3 here.
yes.
So number 3 is the senior wellness fair, and that is June 11th, and that's on East New York, Brighton, Kingston, and Albany. So we have different organizations coming. Khalid, I'm bothering you again. Do you have the flyer from Anna for the senior wellness fair?
I can print it out.
Can you print here? Can you print? 3 of them, please. Yes. Yes, so the community board, CCHR, my agency, community board 9, Brian Cunningham and Interboro. They are hosting their sponsors for that day. So we're gonna have and the 71st precinct as well. So it's gonna be a day of fun. So you can invite Mr. So you can pass it on Lily and you can put it in your building, sir.
Oh, good.
Put it in your building to
Okay.
invite the seniors. So if you want copies, could it come with copies for you?
Okay.
And you
Yeah,
could,
put some up in my building too.
yeah. So put it up in your building so that they could come in. Alright, so it's gonna be a day of fun. Alright. So, alright, so this is something that I've been looking forward to, and I'm happy that that it's there. So so moving down to the mental health forum. So any questions for the senior wellness fair? We're good with that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because we just pass it on to persons in the community. The mental health forum, we are still looking to work on the mental health forum, which we are partnering with.
What are you still looking
Downstate?
for? Yeah, you didn't finish, you're still looking for what?
Mental health for the mental health forum.
Yeah,
So the mental health forum, we are still looking to the panel, putting the panel
Oh,
together. Yeah, the speakers. So that's what we're looking for. So the venue, more or less, it would be Downstate Hospital. The time it was supposed to be, the first session was supposed to be March, not March, May. But so much have been happening, so we had to push it. So the last meeting we have, and I have to send you guys the login when we are meeting. Maybe you may not be able to, it's usually at 3 in the afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon when we have the meetings to discuss. And so discussion is who we are looking for, someone who will be the moderator. And then we already have some point agencies where we have persons who are coming in to be part of the panel. Also, we want it to be interactive. I don't want, as I have in the, I don't want it to be a forum where persons are just sitting and just listening to people talking.
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Right, so I just want it to be where persons, the audience are able to, participate, ask questions, because everybody experience mental health in a different way. People, mental health affect persons differently. It could be, persons have mental health issue when it comes to money.
Mhm.
People that have suffer mental health issues dealing with their children, dealing with their spouse, dealing with their own selves, their health, and so many different things that triggers mental health. Because somebody might just be sitting there, they have so much going on with them, and they just sit there, and then you're watching them and they're in space. They're spaced out. So many people have really interpreted mental health as just being crazy. And that is not what it's about at all. All of us have our own face our own mental health issue challenges, but some persons they hold everything to themselves. They don't talk about it. I'm a talker. Something is bothering me. I don't care how you feel about me. And I'm going to talk. I'm going to tell you. So it's very important. And one of the areas that we are looking also, we are looking for the youth. The youth, they talk to each other. But the two sets of person when it comes to mental health do affect, but then more or less you would say like a 60%. The youth, the young people and children and women. Women talk. Very few women who hold stuff to themselves, but they have a friend. They will talk to a friend. There's somebody that they will talk to. Men don't talk. Men hold back everything, and it affects them. So and the two things that we're really trying to get you to the men when it comes to the health, going to the doctor, making sure you take that yearly exam, and the majority of the men, when they go to the doctor and then you hear they have cancer, it's always at the last stage. because the men don't go to the doctor. So they don't know what's happening in their bodies. So it's always detected at the last minute. Some are very lucky, they are able to live, after they get the treatment, they live a good life. And some of them in no time, you just say they just deteriorated because it has taken over the health. So at that forum in November, the November forum will more or less targeting men, right? And we're looking for the clergy to be on board so that they can encourage the men in their congregation to come in, to sit down, to listen, to talk, and if they don't want to talk, then they can listen, and get information because they just don't understand the importance. Have a buddy, men who drinks rum, they talk. They talk. They will just talk. They do something like, that woman's giving me problem, that woman, this and that one, that. Now I'm spending all my money, that one. They will just talk. But the everyday man who go to work and then they come back home and they have a family and sometimes some of them, things are happening in their psyche. And then we say, well, that person snapped and said, that person, John really do this, he was the nicest person. But John had been a volcano ready to erupt, just boiling because so much I'm dealing with work and dealing with this, and it's just so much. And we just want the brothers to come out and just open up and just talk, have a conversation.
Yeah, about that, you mentioned faith.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if, we can have a topic like faith and health,
Mm-hmm.
to have a pastor to talk about.
Yeah, so we're going to have a pastor there.
Yeah, faith and health.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
I think that can be, appealing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I really do like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also you talk about the men who talk after drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder what would be the healing impact, because the healing impact is when you are aware of what you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you talk without realizing that you are talking about issues affecting you, will have a real impact?
But it's a question have asked myself, and I'm yet to come up with an answer. When men drink, do they really not knowing what they're talking about?
I mean, I can only talk from experience from watching family members and friends drink. To me, normally when they're drinking, they're not talking about issues that are taken seriously by whoever is listening to them. So they are talking, but there's nobody there that's going to.
Because the people just say, "Oh, he's drunk."
Right.
He's just
right.
talking.
They're not.
But sometimes when they talk, they're really talking,
Right, but
and they're just
nobody's
using the drunkenness.
Yeah, that I would say that
But-
is a.
But
But there's no healing. I get what
Right,
you're
but to
saying.
your
that-
point,
that-
nobody's there to do
that is
anything
a-
about
Yeah.
it.
Maybe a level, they still have some comment.
Mm-hmm.
People can drink, and at the same time they are still fully, aware.
Aware. Mm-hmm.
But if you go beyond certain limits,
They will shut
and
down.
whatever you say, you may not even know.
But I think that men who
Culturally,
go,
they might not speak.
men who goes beyond, they don't talk.
Right.
They're just like sitting there, they're not talking. But some men, I find that some persons use alcohol as an avenue
Mhm.
to just slash out, and yeah. But I understand what you're
really,
saying. But
Maybe,
because
maybe
you
maybe
know,
the
they
talking is the healing, and that's
Use
as
it
far
as
as it will
their,
get.
Yeah. that's their way of just
That's as far as it will get.
yeah,
That-
yeah. Because
like
when they're sober-minded and
They're not gonna say anything.
they don't want to say anything. Yeah, but faith and health is a great topic for
The clergy.
November. And to really reach out the men, because we really want our men and our young men. They're growing up, and then they're just following the patterns of their fathers, the patterns of their uncle, or the male figures in the family. And so we just want to encourage them, that there is someone out there who wants to listen and who will listen to you. Come out, and talk. Don't allow stuff, because when I sit down and I think of a young child in a home, and then a young child is experiencing that level of mental failure, and that child commits suicide, what is it that brings a child to that point to commit suicide?
Also experienced that too. Family member, 11 years old, did just that, and unfortunately, we'll never know,
You know?
right? But she was being bullied
Mhm.
and feeling that the family couldn't protect
Yeah,
her.
because we have to,
Not protect her, but I guess she felt that.
they would listen to her.
And, yeah, and even that's a hard thing to even
Yeah.
try to figure out, because the family seemed very supportive. She had an older sister, right? So I'm sure that they spoke, but maybe she was bullied to the point where they told her, if you say anything, we'll probably hurt you. So
Mhm.
maybe she was being threatened too.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of different factors other than
Yeah,
just being sad when it comes to, youth and suicide.
One aspect also could be like if you feel that you don't have, the support you need,
mhm.
that that lack of support can be real or perceived.
Perceived.
You may have, the support was still in your own
Right.
imagination.
In your
You think that
10-year-old mind, you don't
you
think
don't,
anybody
you
listens
think
to
that
you.
you are not receiving the support you need. I think that can also,
Yeah, yeah, good factor. Mhm.
How do you tell children that don't be afraid, say something to a parent? That's, to me, is
Yeah.
the most
And
important.
I think that bullying is one, but when a child is being abused sexually as well,
Mhm.
it is a big thing, because I always remember this one person who said to me that this young girl, she committed suicide, and she left a letter to her mom, to her parents, and fathers need to pay attention to the boy children. Mothers, you need to pay attention to the signs of the girl children and listen, because it's something that really affects you when something like that is happening in the home, and then you cannot go to that person you think who is there to protect you, because that person will not listen to you. It is something, and then when a child is experiencing that, and the child get to a point, because that uncle showed that child all that love, because the parents were busy working, and he was the one there taking the child there, and uncle this and uncle that, and he became so close to the child, and he removed himself as a protector and put himself as someone who's going to take advantage of that child's vulnerability, and started sexually molesting that child, and worked on her mind, her psyche, and tell her, I love you. I'm the only person who loves you. I'm the person who's there for you. I'm the person who's going to take care of you, and giving her everything that she wanted. And it happens that he left and moved away to another state, and she felt her whole world collapse. Her whole world collapsed because that one person she saw that was giving her all that love and everything. So she was not saying that that sexual encounter was wrong. She was just saying that this uncle is the one who loved her, and this uncle is the one who was there for her. And when he left, her whole world collapsed. She killed herself. But in that letter, she said to them, "You have never had time for me. It was work, work, work. You have never listened to me." And she said, "What's happening to me now, I just hope that you don't allow it to happen to my brother," because the brother was younger. So we have to, I'm trying to get, and I think that the schools are doing, but they are not doing enough, to protect the kids. Bullying and as soon as something happened and the child come and the child said I'm being sexually abused, and the first thing you can do is run and call the police and all of that. That is needed, but the child needs something more.
Need counseling.
Yeah, the child needs something more, But we have to start with the parents.
Of course.
We have to start with the parents. So I'm hoping our next meeting most likely will meet next month, and I will send the login. So if you guys can, I mean, if you're in a place and then you can talk and you just want to listen and really have your earpiece, and if you can make it, but I need the committee to be part of that conversation. Yeah, so we another discussion that we had, and let me try to move on. It's almost, although we started late. Give us a few minutes. Good. When we're looking at the Department of Health, because I know a lot of the senior centers, they have persons who come in to talk to the seniors, but then yet we still have seniors. When if I'm tabling, they would come in and they said, how can I get screen, and how can I get that?
Right.
And even when I would go to Assembly Member Cunningham's office, person would come in and they will ask that. So we have the Department of Public Engagement, is public engagement unit from the mayor's office, and they work very closely with seniors, and we work very closely with tenants when it comes to certain things.
From whose office?
The mayor's office, so it's public engagement unit from the mayor's office. So most likely would, and I know that Assembly Member Cunningham, his office is open, and even here we can have an afternoon a forum where we can invite the seniors to come in and have someone from the Department of Finance to talk to them, those who are renting as well as those who have homes, because there are certain services that they can get, the taxes and stuff like that, they can get it lowered. So certain incentives that they can get, because the services are there for them, it's just that they don't know. So we can get them to come to talk to them. And this party, we're still looking to do this. I'm still looking to do this party. I'm going to talk to Kings County to use the building, the T building. That's what we did the last time. We have to do it earlier in the year. Maybe the way that I'm looking at it, I don't know, because this year is a very busy year for me. Because July is around the corner.
Yeah.
August I'm traveling. October I'm traveling, and December I'm sure I have a lot going on, and I think it's something that we have to try planning early, because we can get sponsors and get all the things that we need to put in place, for this. So
will it still be, it's still an idea, but.
So it is an idea, but what we will look to do this year is to see if we can take the seniors out on a trip. I would really like to take them out on the trip, maybe a Broadway show and lunch, or any ideas you have as a trip that we could take them out. Because the 71st Precinct, they are very good, the community office, they are very good in working with the seniors. And Dr. Love, she works very closely with the seniors. So we can partner with her. And then also that senior place up on Kingston, we can work with them and take them out on a field trip or anything.
There's a lot of community theaters, like I said, the Billie Holiday Theater.
Yeah, so,
Restoration
yeah.
Plaza. They put on plays, Jamaica Performing Arts, right? If you don't want to go, if you're not set on just going to Broadway, there's a lot of black box community theaters that put on really
Okay.
nice.
So I would like to take them to a show, and after the show, then we could go and sit and have lunch.
And there's a million places in Brooklyn to have lunch.
We're gonna have lunch, yeah.
So many nice restaurants.
And also you can look into BAM.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They have
They have
so
movie
many
theater
nice
shows. They had Dance
program
Africa.
shows and the BAM Cafe.
Yep, that's true. That's
Yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah.
And they have movies there too.
Yeah, so that's what so that's another discussion that we have to have as to when we're looking to do it. I'm gonna reach out to Council Member Joseph to see how we can get some funding, get some money, because we can get a senior prices for them, and the package for them to take them there. So the community fair is rescheduled for June 28th. Yeah, so the community fair is rescheduled for June 28th. Okay.
The location is still pending.
Hmm?
The location of the community fair.
It's at What's the park again?
Same part.
The same park.
Yeah.
Dr.
Dr. Ron McNair Park.
You heard what he said, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this same park, yeah. The other thing that I'm looking for us to do is as to how we can come up with our funding for our committee. I know usually the board will ask, for the committee to put a budget together. So what we're looking, so like taking out the seniors and we put a budget together. So we'd like to do something for the seniors, have a spa day for the seniors, and we'll put a budget together. I don't know as to how much they would allow us to put in as a budget, but we could put a budget together, figure out, okay, how many seniors we're taking, 15 seniors, this is the lunch we're looking to do or whatever. But then I would really like us to think of something to do a little fundraising, so we can have our own stipend, so when we want to do something, we want to take the seniors out with it, so we have something coming in. So if we can do like a 3 fundraising for the year, that would be great.
So you want fundraising ideas?
Yeah. Fundraising ideas, and then also on the I have to find out from Dante if we can apply for the seniors under the umbrella of the community board for a grant for the seniors for our thing. So that's what happened, because city agencies are kind of different when it comes to funding and stuff like that. So it's just something I have to discuss with Dante.
Yeah, because not something you can just look online and see private funding and ask for money that way.
No, because it's a city agency. We're a city agency, so we can.
So do you allow like the regular stuff, selling candy?
So we can do stuff like have a big sale outside. We can have stuff like that.
What about GoFundMe?
So all of those things that we have to look into, because as I said,
It's a
there is
city
the
agency.
city agency.
Regulation.
Yeah. So when it comes to funding and raising money, we have to be very careful with that, because at the end of the day, we don't want anybody coming back and say, oh well, we give you all money, so
Misappropriate
yeah.
funds.
So we need,
Yeah, I think, we can check about, what the legislation says about GoFundMe.
yeah.
Then we can combine different type of fundraising that will help.
Yeah. So we'll have to, maybe the next meeting we can invite Dante to be here with us, and then we can start discussing a little bit, because we already want us to be, and if for any reason that a meeting is called and I'm not at the meeting, even though it's 2 of you who comes to the meeting, we have the minutes, just have a meeting, and just discuss the things that we've discussed, because I don't make the committees, all of us have ideas. So if I cannot make it and I said I can make it, still have a meeting, and we just keep things going, because I think that we have passed the place where we're just meeting and we're talking, then we need to really be proactive and just action and just do this stuff, come up with the stuff that needs to be done. All right.
So with the fundraising ideas, how would we go, we have ideas, but how would we execute them? Like in order to start, like if we wanted to do a bake sale, would that be contacting bakeries, or would that be something that we
So if we want to do like a sale, what we can, so we will talk to the board and make sure, yes, that is within the guidelines, that we can do this. And if it says yes, that we can do it, then we can reach out to Adam's Bakery and reach out to little bakeries in the neighborhood and say, hey, community board, we have a letter, we have the community board, and we, try to do something for our seniors, and then we're just trying to raise some fund, for our committee and stuff to do. Yeah, so we'll go along. But then as anything else, what we can do is just to do an outline of the different areas of fundraising that we're looking at, and then when we meet with them, we could say, okay, this is an area, this is what we would like to do, and then they could say, check, yes, that you can do that, yes, which is within the guidelines, and go ahead with it, go along with it like that.
And maybe one thing also is if, for instance, instead of going to a restaurant, if we're organizing a lunch here, for instance, we can ask for donations from restaurants.
Yeah, we did this before, yeah.
Yeah.
We can do that, yeah.
That
We
also
have them,
is
invite them and have
option.
lunch at the board, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good space.
Yeah. It's a pretty good space, yeah. Because we used to keep our Christmas parties in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the place used to be full. Yeah, so, yeah, and we have chairs and everything. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Anything else that, okay, so, yeah, so we spoke about the grant. So the last thing that we're looking at is really staying informed with the, and let me look at the WhatsApp, our WhatsApp chat. Because even as we discuss stuff that with WhatsApp, that we can keep connected
Mm-hmm.
with the WhatsApp. Okay, so we have, it is the CB9 Health and Social Services. We have 8 members on here. So the 8 members, we have myself, Melissa. Melissa is one of the group admin. Melissa, from the time I started, but she had to drop off from the board as a member, then she came back in. And then we have Anne, Carol, Dr. Love, we have Carol, and Walney, then we have Karima. Yeah, I haven't seen Yusuf in a while. So let me see, Carol Bartley, Karima, Tanya, Yusuf, Jacqueline, Charlie Wiggins, who is? Oh, I think Miss Wiggins is the other lady, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can check
I've
here.
never seen her.
Have you ever seen her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Anne, I haven't seen Anne in a while.
Not since.
But Charlene, I don't know who is Charlene Wiggins. Maybe I think she came one time. Well, she's a resident, yeah.
Unless that's her picture.
Charlene Wiggins. No, that is not her picture.
No.
Yeah, she's not in the chat.
Mm.
Yeah, she's not here. Okay, and then board members, Christian Barrington Thomas, I don't know that person. Yeah. Alright, so also what we need to do as well, when you do the minutes, if you can take the attendance, as to how many people, because based on the attendance, so the next 6 months, those persons who have not been coming to the committee, I have to let the board reach out to them. So if they are not coming, so whether they want to step down, because we have names, but people are not there because they may have other persons who may want to be part of. So if they are not coming to the meeting, yeah, so we'll just well, we always have attendance anyway.
Yeah.
So what I have to do is to start looking at the attendance from January to see how many those persons who have not been attending. Take it from there. Yeah, because they are not saying anything, they're not saying an excuse. And I mean, if you're out, you always say, "Well, I can't make it." Karima would say, "My dear sir, you were sick," and then he said that they couldn't make it. Yeah. So, any other business? Anything else that you would like to discuss?
So you'll just send out the login information for the mental health forum, the
Yeah.
days that you want us to hopefully just be able to listen and participate.
Yes.
Is there any need for any volunteers for any of these events that are coming up? I mean, if I have time, I can.
I mean, for the event coming up on the 11th,
But that's right, June work, so.
yeah, just come and, be part of the committee, being at the event, if you can make it, invite people
Mm-hmm.
to the event, that's great. And also, I don't think that maybe you could ask Dante for the ending, because the Saturdays I will not be there
Mm-hmm.
for the 28th, because I'm in church, so if it be whatever, sometimes you just need someone at the table, maybe give out water or something like that, so we always ask Dante, Mia,
I don't know either one of them.
Or Dundee is the
Dundee.
district manager.
I mean, I see from the name,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it, but I've
yes,
never met them.
yes, I mean, it's in this, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, because you come in the evening time, so, yeah, but you will meet them. You could always ask them if they, Khalid,
Yes.
so for the resource fair, so if there is a need for the 28th, if there's a need for the volunteers or anything, you know, let us know at the park, you know, anyone to sit at the table, you know,
Okay.
and, but she was asking if we need any,
Volunteer opportunities. Okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
to volunteer for that day,
All right.
alright? As you know, it's on a Saturday, so I'll be there,
Yes.
but at least the committee will represent,
Okay.
alright? Okay, so, I guess that is it, right?
Yes.
Alright, so, thank you guys, I think that sometimes you have a whole lot of people, and it's not much, but sometimes you have a little bit, and you accomplish much,
Yeah.
you know, so, good discussion, and I appreciate you guys,
Thank you.
coming being here, and, meeting is adjourned, it's now 8:10, and the meeting stand adjourned, 8:10, thank you very much, thank you, Khalid.
Okay, thank you.